What's up, Gearholics? It's me, Zach, the Gearholic, here doing another review on another knife. I know, another knife, but this time, not just any knife. It's going to be the Becker, or K-Bar Becker BK-11. This is an amazing knife. You know why I like this knife? Because it's pretty much the perfect knife. There's very little that I don't like about this knife. There are a few things and a few exceptions that I don't like, but for the most part, I generally love this blade. It has very much to offer and has come very highly recommended by so many other people that for me to do a review on it just almost seems natural, and just to add to the goodness of the actual blade. So here's the actual blade, and it comes with a fantastic sheath that I have found very suitable for the job. And it has worked for me very well. I honestly when I got the knife, it just came with the actual sheath itself and the knife. It did not come with the handle scales or 550 cord. It was brand new when I got it, and it was a very amazing knife. It was designed to be a neck knife. I find it to be a little bit too heavy to be a neck knife. In my personal opinion, and I find that there are other blades out there that suit the neck knife portion a lot better, but this functions very well. I really love the sheath. It's a very high quality sheath for the money that you're paying. It is a little rattly, but it's not going to come out at all, or at least it hasn't fallen out yet, and it is very tight. It is very hard to get this knife actually out of the sheath. And that is really a good quality and really good job, K-Bar Becker too, for producing a knife that is such a high quality. Go ahead and do an actual review on the actual blade itself. For now, I'm going to put the sheath away. I may come back to this, but if I don't, it is a fantastic and outstanding sheath. Let's see, what can I say about the knife? The overall length of the knife is 6.75 inches. The blade length on the actual blade is 3.25 inches. The blade thickness is 1.7, so it's very thick. It is 1095 Crowvan steel, which is a pry steel, I believe. It's a tool steel. You can use it for light prying, and it is very durable and very wear resistant. It is a drop point style blade, and it is a flat grind, so it has a complete flat grind from the start of the top all the way down to the edge where it terminates. And then it has a micro secondary bevel right here, which is fine, and it functions for me. It is black with a very nice black coating on it. The coating has been wearing very well for me and for my purposes in which I've been using this knife. I have had this knife for maybe like 2 years, and I have done a little bit of work with it. I haven't really put this knife too much through a whole lot. But it is a very reliable and dependable knife, and so far I have found that it functions very well in the roles that I've put it in, and I love it so much. And it is almost such a good blade to have as a camp knife, as a backpacking blade. It does really function and serve a very good purpose, which is really nice. It does come with the handle. The handle length is 3.5 inches, and the handle material is supposedly stainless steel, but I think that's wrong. It is full 1095 carbon steel. I don't believe that it's two different steels, or I mean, at least to my knowledge, it does not look like there was any welds or anything that would change over. I don't know why on some website that says that. The overall weight of this actual knife is 3.2 ounces, so it really does not weigh a whole lot. And that is the weight of 3.2 is without the handle scales and without the lanyard on it. The handle scales probably add a little bit more. I would say probably pushing it to 3.5 ounces, maybe a little somewhere along that line. So maybe 3.5, maybe 3.67 ounces, which is great. It is a fixed blade knife, so it is a full tang blade, so it does run the length of the entire knife, and it's really nice. It's very comfortable in my hands. I have pretty big hands, and I can fit all 4 fingers on there very comfortably. The pinky does have a little bit of like there is a kind of a round area on my large hand, but it does fit very well in my hand, and it suits me for all tasks. And I've done all kinds of carving with this knife, and it does function very well. And I've yet to find any hot spots or anything on my hands from carving and doing everyday tasks with this actual blade. I love this knife. I cannot say anything else. It is made by Becker. It's Becker Knife and Tool Company, BK&T. It is a sub company of K-Bar. It is founded by K-Bar. They fund it or whatever, and it is out of I think somewhere in upstate New York. I think is where they make these. I would categorize this knife as not only a survival knife, maybe even an EDC knife. You can every day carry this knife and definitely function this knife into your everyday carry role, which it does perform very well. There are a few things that I don't like about this knife, and I'll go ahead and just kind of say it. I do feel as if the knife is so wide up here, and I mean I understand that the actual knife itself is already really small and very thin blade. And its grinds are very nice. I just feel as if this is a little bit wide for my taste, and I wish it were just a little bit more narrow when it came out into a point. And I feel like that would just alleviate a little bit more weight on the actual knife, but it would still function just as well. There are other knives out there that I would say that do that a little bit better, like the Essie Izula, and then there are other companies such as Rat that make knives along the same lines as well. I will not get into a political discussion on which ones I like more and which ones I don't. This knife suits my purposes just fine, and it has done me very well, and I personally really love it. It is made in the United States of America, so USA, which is really nice. I do like buying blades that are USA made. It's not because I'm a patriot or anything. I mean, I am, but at the same time, I do really feel as if blades that are made in the U.S. just have a little bit better quality on them, and they've shown a little bit more love and than the overseas produced knives. I do have some really great overseas produced knives, but I feel as if this knife just functions really well. And the fact that it's made in the USA, stamped right on the back of the blade, with the BK-11 is an excellent thing to have, and I just really love that in my knife. It does have a bottle opener on the bottom half of the blade, and I think some have said that it is a wire breaker or something. I haven't really figured out the whole function of that whole end cap, but I have used it to open up a couple of beers while camping, and it functions quite well for that role. And so I cannot complain. I cannot complain against that. It is very nice. And since it's an everyday carry knife, it really does function very, very well. It feels absolutely incredible in my hands. I did show you guys that earlier, and I did put a lanyard actually on mine. When I did first get this knife, I did paracord wrap the handle before I got the micarta scales, and I like the actual paracord wrap on it. It wasn't bad. It's just nice to have that little medium thickness with the micarta scales on there, and those micarta scales are just absolutely beautiful. They're just absolutely beautiful, and they wear so well, and they do feel really good in the hands. I used to not really be a fan of micarta just because I didn't fully understand it, and then I got a pair of micarta scales, and now I know what everybody's talking about. Micarta is absolutely just amazing. You know, I didn't want to jump on the micarta handle train, but I did. I did eventually. I snuck on through the back door. It feels really good. Micarta, if you don't know what micarta is, micarta handles are basically it's layers and layers of material that have been resin impregnated and then either pressed together, or sometimes usually they're pressed together in some sort of vice system and let to dry and then shaped using sanders and different things to form handles. So if you didn't already know that, there it kind of is. That's a very generic sounding explanation, but that's the overall view of the entire knife. The handles I felt they fit very well. I didn't have to do any kind of sanding or anything to fit the handles to the contours of the blade. They were very well made, and I did buy this knife. Off of Amazon. I bought the knife off of Amazon for $40. or in the $40 range. I think it used to be really expensive. They used to be like somewhere in the $60 range for these knives when I first saw them. But I held off for quite a long time on the actual knife because I wanted to see if it was going to drop in price. And eventually they did drop in price, and I got mine for right around the $40 range. Maybe it was like 45 or something like that, plus shipping and handling. So maybe right around $50 actually, but you know, it wasn't that bad, and it's a decent knife, and it's a great gift to get anybody who really loves knives. I've implemented this into various systems while carrying. I've taken it on backpacking trips. I've taken it on fishing trips. I've taken it hunting, or I've had it on me while I was hunting. I haven't skinned any game or anything with this knife, but I think it would do quite well. I would just remove the micarta handles and just use the blade itself to make it easier to clean animals. This is a great backup camp knife. This would be a great camp knife for anybody who needs to go camping or needs a decent camping knife in their system, and it's great backup for a primary blade. I feel as if it's a little small, a little short. That blade is only 3.25 inches, so I feel like it's a little small for a survival blade. I feel like you need at least 4 inches, 4 inches, maybe a little bit more, 5 inches for a decent survival blade. And definitely, you know, a fixed blade like this will last quite a long time. And a fixed blade 5-inch knife is really what you want for a survival knife. Or you can do a lot more with a 5-inch blade than you can the 3. But I'm sure you could push this knife into other multiple roles and multiple tasks. I haven't had any problems with the 1095 Crovan steel that this thing is made out of. The 1095 Crovan steel, the heat treats that they do on these knives are absolutely outstanding, and K-Bar's always got it done right. I do have other K-Bar knives, and I do really appreciate them, and K-Bar's always had really good, satisfactory products. And I do feel as if this is one of those satisfactory products. I can't say enough about this knife. I'm sure there's better reviews out there than the ones I'm giving you guys right now, but I was just kind of showing you guys the wear and tear that I did on mine. I have used it to baton things and other wood and things, and it has come out really well. And the actual material itself that's on the actual blade has worn quite well over the last, 2 years or 3 years or however long I've had this actual knife. I did take a nice chunk of material off right there, but that's okay. I did try striking with this knife, fire steels, and I think really what I'm going to have to do, if I want to strike a fire steel, I'm going to have to grind off this back edge or something. I did try to use it in there, but that's just too narrow, and I don't think that's not the intended purpose, obviously, for this. I really like this blade. I think they did an almost excellent job. I think I'm going to go back to the sheath. I think they did an absolutely phenomenal job with the sheath. The sheath itself is made out of some sort of Kydex or plastic material, and they did do a very good job of riveting it together and making it very lightweight. It's very nice because I got this. I think it's the TDI, the Tactical Defense whatever for the K-Bar TDI. It's a TDI clip, and the clip it's okay. It functions really well. I think I may have bent mine, or maybe I got one that was not very well done. I don't remember bending it or doing anything hazardous to the actual thing, but for some reason it doesn't want to clip down all the way, and it's not like a super sturdy, stiff clip. And I think I would prefer that more. I guess I could take this off and try to work on it, but it works the way it does, and it has had a little bit of wear and tear here and there from taking on and off my belt. And you can actually slide your belt all the way through it, right in there if you really wanted to, and have it carry it either scout style on your back or on your side, so you can draw it out. It can function actually as a neck knife. I feel as if it's a little bit large for that and a little bit heavy. Even though it's only it's almost 4 ounces, or 3.2 ounces. It's just a little bit it's a lot of material to be bouncing around in your neck. I feel, and I think there are lighter knives out there that do a little bit better job. This function is neck knives, at least. But it's an absolutely wonderful blade. So thick. It's so thick right here. This is a super thick blade. I mean, you could really pound on that blade with and really hammer into things. Fantastic blade. I really love this knife. Highly recommended by me. Highly recommended by other people as well. I'm sure there's more reviews out on this knife, and this knife is pretty old on the market. And I just think that the Becker company, they did an absolutely fantastic job, and I think you can really thank K-Bar for backing them and making such a wonderfully qualified piece of cutting tool. So, good job, guys. Well, that's all I got for now. I'll go ahead and lock it back in. I think I'm done for the evening, and if you guys have any more questions or any more comments, please leave them at the bottom of the screen. And as I always say, be safe out there, and don't cut yourselves.